The greatest source of illness is an empty wallet, lack of money. Worry and stress are two factors that decant or distill into many complex health issues. The greatest source of worry and stress is lack of money, lack of provision. That is money. The good book in Ecclesiastes 9:10, it provides that food and wine bring laughter and merry to our lives. But money answereth all issues. Money is our problem solver, and faith is the currency. There is one phase in our lives where we are predisposed to lack of money, and that is our retirement, old age, or a curtailment or termination of our active sources of income. So there should be a preparation by an individual or every individual relating to that part of their life. If you have a job or you have a business that you are running, the job and the business are giving you incomes that support your lifestyle expenses, your aspirational expenses, and your security expenses, security needs at the moment. But think of that time when this job will go down or this job will end, either because of time or because of a legal requirement, attaining a specific age where you are supposed to move out of that job. What happens from that time? Where will you be getting your cash flows from? What will be your sources of money? If you don't plan, you have already planned to fail. If you don't plan on where you are going to be getting your cash flows, that time when the job gets terminated or you retire, then you have already planned to suffer under stress and a lot of worry, which will equal health issues. It may not be diseases per se, but you will have complex health issues. Financial freedom will be attained when you use your current money, when you use your current incomes or current cash flows to purchase that freedom in the future. Now, by deliberately keeping aside in investments, not saving, but deliberately taking a part of your money, your income, and keeping it in investments. Those investments will grow and multiply over time, building into a pool of assets that we call your wealth, and it is those assets that will be generating your cash flows to support your lifestyle, your security, and aspirational needs when you retire. The other important thing on retirement is that you will definitely need more than you are earning today in order to live comfortably in retirement. Retirement does not mean that all your needs at the moment you will still continue. There is potential, you will potentially continue incurring the same overcost. You may delay your investing because you feel you are young. But there is one problem. Delaying your investing in the hope that in the future you'll be making more money and that time you start investing. There is a bigger risk and a problem with that kind of a decision because you have an enemy called your lifestyle. Your lifestyle has a tendency of inflating and changing positively to the changes in your income. You are earning as low income today, maybe 20,000, 30,000, or whatever level of income you are earning today. If you fail to set aside and keep part of that income no matter how small it is. We have opportunities like the money market funds that are accepting as small as 100 shillings, and you keep building that small amount slowly, and eventually it will balloon up to a huge investment. Failure to do that in the hope that in future, when your salary will increase commuting from a low of 20 to a higher level of 50, and you think that is the time you will start investing and perhaps be putting a huge amount of money in those investments, you may be surprised by the ballooning of your lifestyle expenses, which will gobble all that money and you still find yourself unable to invest. So investing is a culture and a mindset that you need to create slowly over time until it becomes part of your habit. It's not a easy thing to be setting aside your money in investment. It's not easy. It is something that you build into a habit over time. So the earlier you start, the better. And as it forms a habit, it gets easy for you to invest and increase the amounts that you are putting in your investments. Eventually, it's important to realize that the returns that you are getting from that investment, the interest that you are getting from your investment, is a subject or a consequence of a known rate of return. That 18% that you are being paid by the money market fund, the 15% that you are being paid by that bond that you have purchased, that is a predetermined rate that is known. The money market fund that you're looking forward to putting into an investment gives you a known rate of return. The amount of return or the expected amount that you are sure will last you a year or whatever period in your mind will be a subject of this rate that you already know and an object of a pool of money that you are going to keep yourself. So the big business for you as an investor is not to look at this rate that has already been given. You might be lured by a higher rate of return and forget that it is the money that you are going to be keeping aside, setting aside over a period of time that will be giving you the return or the target return in your mind. If, for example, you are paying a rent of 10,000 shillings per month, which translates to 120,000 in a year, and that is your target income, you need to be getting 120,000 from a particular investment, which will be enough to be settling your rent for a whole year. The 120,000, if you are thinking of putting your investment in the highest paying money market fund, or you are waiting for that infrastructure bond that will be giving you the highest return currently in the market, the 18%, if you get blinded by the high interest rate, you will forget that the 120,000 is a subject of this return that you know and an amount of money that maybe you have not thought about, which is the object onto which this rate will be subjected to give you that return. So the most important thing is build a culture of investing, piling and accumulating your money into these investments in the hope of building, accumulating a pool of money. That is the object onto which we shall apply this rate to give you your target income. So also at the beginning of your investments, don't get worried. Do not get discouraged by the small amounts of return that you'll be getting once you are putting your small amounts to build up into that capital. Because the smaller the object, which is the amount that you are putting in, despite the high rate of return, the smaller will be the net return that you'll be getting. But over time, as you increase this amount that you have accumulated as your capital, then consequently the return will also be building up, and at last you'll be able to get whatever return that you are targeting. So it's a matter of time, and time is one of the most important factor in your investing after the capital. So you are two important things that you require for your investing: building up the capital over a long period of time, and that will reward you if you start when you are young. Start when you are young. And over, by the time you are assuming responsibilities that tie your incomes, you will have accumulated good money that even if left into these vehicles, it can compound on its own to your target capital amount in the long term. Thank you for listening and watching.